everyone. I hope you have had a good festive season and compliments of the new season. And I hope you've been doing well and keeping safe during this pandemic. Well, doing well and keeping safe, it's one thing. But doing well and keeping sane with less anxiety and stress and worry, it's another. So today we're going to be concentrating on happiness. How do we keep ourselves sane and happy during this pandemic? We all do know that there's so many restrictions during this lockdown that we were not used to, and now we have to be accustomed to the the rules that the president has outlined for us. So today we're going to be looking at the three key elements of happiness. What are the key three elements of happiness? Psychologists have mentioned that the three key elements of happiness are the pleasant life, the good life, and the meaningful life. Now, let us outline the pleasant life. The pleasant life, it's when you do your day-to-day thing that keeps you happy in life. You go to the malls with your friends, you go to the movies with your friends, you hang around and socialize with whoever that you come across with in your life. Now, that is a pleasant life. Now, let us have a look at the second point of the key elements of happiness, which is the good life. What is the good life? What are the sources saying that the good life consists of? The good life consists of skills and enrichment. We need to acquire skills that can enrich yourself and enrich the lives of those that are around you. How do you acquire skills and so that you can enrich yourself? You acquire skills by learning. You need to read good books. You need to go out there and find the sources that can make you become skilled. If there are any training that you can attend, especially those that are complimentary, that offer less money to be paid, please do make sure that you attend those trainings so that you can acquire yourselves skills. When you have acquired yourself some skills, you enrich your life, and as soon as your life has been enriched, then you can be able to pass it on to the next person and be able to enrich everyone else's life around your community. And the other thing is, it is easier for you when you've got skills to get a job than when you don't. Do not underestimate the power that lies with those small skills that you can get from here and there. So please take note of it. And then the other third key element of happiness is the meaningful life. A meaningful life is that kind of a life that you contribute now to a greater cause or a greater good in your society. Those skills that you have acquired for you to be able to have an enriched life. For instance, like those certificates or those training courses that you were doing, they can be able to help you become a better person in the society and contribute to a greater cause or a good cause. The third key element of a meaningful life is for you to be able to contribute positively to a good cause in your society. Those skills that you have acquired for you to enrich yourself, they can be able to contribute positively or help you to contribute positively within the community by helping the community to be better themselves and be able to better yourself. In that manner, your happiness now has shifted. You have shifted the focus on me, and now you are concentrating on somebody else or on something else. At the end of the day, it is a good service. It is a good service that you are providing for yourself. It is also a good service that you are providing for your village or your community so that everyone else can live a better life and can be edified. So let us not only concentrate on the one thing to make us happy. There are so many things that can make us happy. So let us go back to what I have said. I have said that happiness consists of the three key elements. There may be other elements outside, but today I want to concentrate on the three key basic elements, which is the good life, the meaningful life, and the pleasant life. So if we can be able to live our lives around those key elements, we'll become a happier people, and when we are happier people, we become a happier society. Now, let us go back to what are those factors connected to happiness. despite the key elements that I have outlined. A lot of people argue that the main factor that is connected to happiness is money. Is money really connected to happiness? Yes, to a greater extent it does. Because remember that life revolves around money. We need money to pay our bonds, we need money to pay everything else that we need. The basics that we need in life, we need money. But let us not remember that the lack of money in itself does not actually give us unhappy, but how we see it and how we use it can actually make us very, very miserable. So we need to learn to live within our means. That is where now the money factor comes in. If you know that you only earn 100 rand, don't go out there and live a life of 500 rands. How are you going to be able now to close that gap of 400 rands? And then at the end of the day, we now are saying that life revolves around money. No, let's live a life where we can be able to love money, to embrace money, to always want money, and be able to live within our means and our budget. Let us make money a source of happiness in a positive manner, but not in a negative way. The second contributor, or the second factor of happiness, I would say for me, attractions. Are my looks connected to my happiness? The way that I look, the way that I wear, the way that I walk, the way that I present myself? To a certain degree, yes. We all need to groom ourselves. We all need to walk like we are confident in ourselves, so that the society at large can have those vibes and say, wow, that woman or that gentleman, they know themselves, they know what they're talking about. But attractions in a sense of you need to look stunning or you need to look a certain way that is defined by a society, that is a different factor altogether. Attraction, let's also work on attractions in a positive manner. Let us groom ourselves, let us be positive, let us have that positive energy so that we can also attract positive lives. And the one thing that is connected to happiness, let's talk about material possessions. Are material possessions really the greatest factor in our happiness? To a certain degree, I would agree. Because if you don't have a car and you don't have a house, how are you going to get from one point to another, or where are you going to stay? So we do need these things, but we do not need to attach our whole souls to them to a certain degree that now they are starting to control us instead of the other way around. We need to use these material possessions for our benefit, not that material should now start to control our lives. I hope we understand each other on that level. Yes, we do need a car. Yes, we do need a good car if we can afford it. But let us not now start into a shopping spree of things that we cannot afford. This is where the problem lies, because now when they start now repossessing those things, it's not going to look okay, and it's going to bring our confidence and our low esteem down, because now we are going to be seen as failures in the society. But however, if we can afford these things, by all means, we can enjoy them because they are for us to be enjoyed. The other factor that I want to also speak about was the rewarding occupation. At work, yes, we do have certain positions from a lower level to senior levels. So when you have a certain position, you start at the lower level. Of course, for you to grow and to use your skills so that you can enrich yourself and those around you, you need to be able to go to a senior level of an occupation. However, when you get there, don't get so much consumed into your occupation that you forget the important things around you. You stay until late at work because now you want to be seen as a hard worker, and now you start compromising your family, you start compromising your social life, and you start compromising your own health, because now you have to maintain this level of occupation and be seen as this important VVVIP in the society. Yes, it is good to be able to acquire skills and to be able to enrich ourselves to get to those senior positions. However, let us be able to be clever enough and to know when to draw the line. Now, let's look at the final factor that I want to concentrate about, that I think actually has become a problem within our society at large, especially as women. The factor that is connected to happiness is a satisfying relationship. Now, the problem now is, especially as women, when we have a satisfying relationship, we are the happiest on earth. As soon as that relationship goes south, now everything about our life crumbles down. We no longer want to have a social life. We no longer want anything and everyone to do with life itself. So now that is a problem. Albert Einstein once said that if you want to, the key to be having a happy life is when you connect it to a goal and not to a person or an object or a thing. So when we have a satisfying relationship that is making us so happy in life that we think that nothing in this matters, let us concentrate on those things that actually really makes us happy. Aside from a satisfying relationship, we tie our relationships so much to ourselves and to our hands that we forget everything else matters. And that is a problem, because when it crumbles down, our whole life crumbles down. We need to actually tie our happiness to a goal. When I'm saying a goal, it doesn't have to be a humongous goal. You can have those little goals that are actually steps towards your bigger goal, so that when that satisfying relationship crumbles down, you know that at least there's something that you can shift your focus on and focus on something that really matters at that point. Let us not connect our happiness so much into relationships, being it friendship, being it colleagues, being it people that we socialize with, even your kids or your spouse, because we know that they are bound to disappoint. Our kids are bound to disappoint us. They can disappoint us hugely. Our spouses can disappoint us bitterly. Our friends can disappoint us because there is so much betrayal within the friendship. We all know that. Anything else that can actually is prone to disappointing us can actually disappoint us. So when we actually base our happiness on those people around us, we are actually setting ourselves for a disaster or a failure or a very unhappy life. Yes, it's true that those people around us, they bring us happiness, they make us happy. But let us be very careful in how we tie ourselves into those relationships so that we don't end up crumbling down. So we need to be very careful on how we handle disappointment, especially us as women. We do know that as AbafaziPhambili, going back to our espoused values, we know that we value quality, diversity, justice, respect, dignity, love, and peace. Now, coming back to dignity, love, and peace, when you really want to be a woman in the society who's making a difference, you are going to embrace those values. You are going to have yourself a value, those values that actually make you actually makes you have a dignity in the society, that value that gives you peace, and that value that gives you love. So let us be careful on how we actually carry ourselves within the relationships. Relationship can make or relationship can break you, but we need to be actually very vigilant on how we carry ourselves through those relationships. Breaks-ups are a disaster. Relationships are a disaster. It has been proven, and they can actually take your dignity away. So for you to be able to still keep that dignity within yourself, even if that relationship has crumbled, you need to be able to attach or to acquire the skills that can enrich you as a woman in life, those skills that actually will bring you a greater joy. For you to be able to have love and peace, you need to be able to have a pleasant life on a day-to-day basis, irrespective of whether or not that person or that kind of a friendship is there or not. Let us learn to be happy within ourselves. Let us learn to enjoy our own company. Let us learn to be able to be content with our surroundings. Let's enjoy nature. Let's take a walk. Let's do anything and everything possible so that we can be able to say, I can stand on my own without being able to rely on somebody else to make me happy. And again, happiness is something else. You bring it with. You don't expect it to be there. You create it. You come with your own happiness, and you will be amazed on how the entire relationship works, because you yourself are happy. But when you come with your grumpy and high expectations of what's going to make you happy in a relationship, in a friendship, in the society, in the community, you are bound to be very disappointed. So come with something that could actually bring positive value towards happiness, so that you don't end up having expectations that are not fulfilled by people that you didn't even actually notify that you have certain expectations. Try to communicate. If you feel that a relationship now it's going south and you don't like it, communicate it with your friend, communicate it with your family, communicate it with your kids, because at times people react or say certain things that hurt us and not us being aware. But when we clearly communicate these things and they keep on repeating the same mistake as if now they want to actually purposely make you miserable, then that's a problem. But at times, half the time, when you communicate these things that are making us unhappy, we get clear vision or clear understanding of the ground level that we actually want to find ourselves in. So let us actually be fair with ourselves. Let's be true with ourselves, and let's love ourselves most importantly. Those are the key elements of happiness that I actually wanted to share with you today, especially because now we are facing the pandemic, we are locked down, we are within our homes. There's so much that we can do. So in the meantime, I have outlined, let's read a book, let's take a walk if you can take a walk, let's do things around the home. If you do have a garden, plant something, do something. They do say that work is an antidote of anxiety. Do something, keep your mind focused, keep your mind busy, keep yourself entertained within your own walls, and then you will be less anxious, you will worry less, and you will be happy. I thank you.